This is our iPayment settings window, and if you're going to use our point of sale, we'll toggle this switch on so that we know that you're using point of sale. And then under here, there is a point of sale settings. Once you've got your primary settings done, we'll go to point of sale. This part of it is only going to be used if you're actually using a cash drawer, if you're going to be accepting cash payments, that you're going to want to have like a starting amount, process through the day, and then close out your drawer at the end and balance the cash. So this section of the setup is specifically for reconciling the cash drawer. So we're going to have reconcile numbers. This tells it how to post any variance in your cash at the end of the day. And then this tells us when we're recording those transactions, do we need to specify a salesperson and a cash drawer in your point of sale transactions? We keep track of currency for your cash drawer. We set up payment methods that you're going to use in your cash drawer other than merchant. So if I'm going to do cash or check, and you can also set up others. So like if you accept, like if somebody uses a wire transfer or some other payment method and you want to keep track of that separately, we can create a payment method under other. The next thing we're going to look at real quick is cash drawers, and you can have as many cash drawers as you need. Each one's going to be named and enabled. And then for a cash drawer, if you are accepting cash and you want to be able to say, I only want to have so much money in my drawer, and if I get over that, I want to move it like some out of my drawer. So we would create what we call a safe. And so then when I create my regular cash drawer, I'm going to assign it safe, so that if my threshold in my drawer gets over a certain amount, it's going to email whoever this person is that I put in notification, and then they'll be able to go in and transfer money from the drawer into the safe that it's attached to. Also on the drawer, this is where you're going to put your initial point of sale cash. So you're going to tell us how many coins and notes of each variety that you have, so that we have our beginning cash amount. So this one's set up for 500. The next thing on this setup is the user defaults, and you can set up any of your Business Central users to be a point of sale user. So in my user, I've got myself set up to a merchant, a device, and then I've also got other payment types that I'm allowed to use. Once I've got my drawers and my users set up, then the next part would be if at your point of sale locations, you're going to need to use a card reader. We do have card readers. I don't know how well this shows up, but we do have card readers. So when you order those, they're specifically tied to your merchant. And so under my merchant account, I have my Clover set up. And then under my settings for point of sale, I've got my serial number for my device set up, and it's been tested to my merchant. I do have some transactions showing that if I go into a sales order, I can record a payment here by going into my sales order, and I can go to Actions, My Payments, Point of Sale. And from here, I can either do merchant service, and it's defaulting in my device. And if I wanted to just do a smaller amount, I can put the amount here. And when I hit capture, it's going to actually send that dollar amount to my device for the customer to approve. And then depending on your settings, it may require that I put in a zip code. It may, once I tap or slide my card through, it may require that I put a signature on there. And then once it's approved the payment, it'll write back into Business Central that payment amount. You can also enter your payments manually. If they want to pay you cash, you can do that. So right now they owe $90. If I were to say that they gave me $100, it's going to come back and tell me that they have change due. And then again, when I post that, it's going to record that payment based on settings that we have for that payment method. I can also record it as check or other. If I do want to record a credit card payment with point of sale and I'm not using the reader, I can go ahead and remove the device. Then I can go ahead and say that I want to either use an account that I've saved, if I've saved a credit card profile previously, or I can just enter a new card number down here. You can do partial payments as well. So if the full amount is 90 and they want to pay you, with a $50 check and then do the rest in cash, you can do that too. Then at the end of the day, let me go ahead and record a couple of cash payments just so you can see what this looks like. So if I'm going to go in manually in point of sale, and I'm going to say that for this drawer, I'm going to do a cash payment of $40. I'm going to go ahead and post that. And it's going to give me a receipt for that. It knows that my balance now is 50. So maybe now they're going to write me a check for the difference. So I'm just going to put my check number here and for the $50, I'm going to go ahead and post that. And now it shows down here that I had a payment with a check. So again, I can send the customer that receipt as well. And once that's done, it knows my balance is 0. And if I come back and look at my sales order, it's going to record, if you set it up this way, a work description that knows that I received a cash payment of 40 and a check payment of 50. And then just one other thing I want to show is I can also select a posted invoice. So if I go into one of my posted invoices, if a customer comes in and just wants to pay on an existing invoice, they can do that as well. And again, it's just going into iPayments point of sale. And if I go ahead and again say cash, and my amount that's due is $63.70, I'm going to say they gave me 70. So it knows I've got to have change. So I'm going to go ahead and post that. So if you are using a cash drawer, we do have a reconciliation. So at the end of the day, I can come in here. I've got it set up to assign numbers. I can choose my salesperson that was processing. I can choose the drawer that I ran my product through. And then I'm going to come back in here and say that I want to look at transactions between 4 and 450 today. And so now it says my beginning balance was 500. I did cash sales of 103.70. And over here in my summary, it's going to actually track the cash that I received and any change that I paid out and the net cash. So that's where this cash sales came in. And then it's going to give me a summary of all the sales, all the receipts, whether it's cash, check, or other, any posted transactions that I took payments on, any returns that I've done. So it keeps track of your transactions and everything. And at the end of the day, you just count how much cash you have left. If you're pulling money out, you put that in the deposit column so that at the end, once we've given it our ending cash and told it what we're pulling out, our final balance should be what the cash is in the drawer, and we can set it up to automatically use that as your beginning cash the next day.